Hey, Jimmy from Cuffs and Stuff. Man, we got another good one for you. Today, we're gonna do oxtails and gravy in the crock pot. Oh my goodness, this is so good. You can put it over rice or potatoes. Makes a great meal. And you never had oxtails? You're missing out. Just hang tight. Okay, we've got, this is probably about 4 pounds of oxtails in our bowl. They've been washed and cleaned. We're gonna use, this is Uncle Steve's shake. Uncle Steve's kind enough to make my own label here for me. This is Smoke Bomb. Good stuff. I use this a lot. And we're just gonna cover this, and then let's take and stir it in here. I want to get this coated well. Back, we're gonna go on and add a little more on this side, and that's gonna get where we get this coated pretty well here. All right, next we're going to add about a half a cup of flour on top of this. Now, all I want to do again is just get this coated all around. Need a little bigger bowl. That's all right. We'll make it work. All right. All right, over here, I've got my cast iron with just a little bit of bacon grease in here. I don't have it on high, but I want it in here just enough to brown. All right, all we're gonna do is see, that's about all the brown we want on it right there. We're gonna brown all the sides. Look how pretty that looks. All right, let me get all of this browned up in this bacon grease and I'll bring it back. Okay, you see we've got our oxtails browned. Isn't that pretty? All right, next, over here in our leftover grease, I'm gonna put a little flour. Now, whether you call this a roux or just plain gravy, it don't make any difference to me. It's gonna end up the same. See, we soaking up the grease. Any glaze that was on the bottom of the pan down here, we're gonna get him up. And I don't want to put it all in at one time, but get my flour in. Now, to my flour, I'm gonna add beef broth. It's a beef dish. And like I said, we're just gonna add a little bit at a time. Now, I've got my stove turned down on about medium heat. I don't want it to be too hot. Got this little whisk out, and that just helps break it up good. I like using it. Now you don't want to do it too long. The longer you cook this, the darker this is going to get. Go ahead and put the rest of it in there. I want my gravy soupy to start with. And if it's too soupy, I can always add a little more flour. There we go. That's getting where I want it. And I don't have to worry too much. This cast iron is pretty seasoned, so I don't have to worry too much about it sticking on the bottom, especially with the heat turned down. All right, let me show you. This is about the consistency I want right there. It's pretty runny right now. It's gonna cook down some. Next, I've got about 2 medium onions that I'm just going to dump in with this. Now, I'm going to let these onions cook in this gravy for just a little bit. I'm not trying to even get them translucent. I'm just going to soften them up and let this flavor get in this gravy. And that's the big thing. I'm just trying to get the flavor of the onions in my gravy. And let's let this simmer for a few, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, you see I've gotten out my crock pot here, and I'm gonna take the oxtails and I'm gonna put them down in my crock pot. See that? Just about covers the bottom of my pot. I've got my onions I've let saute. And okay, we're gonna dump all of this over the top. All right. Okay. You see I've got my onions and my gravy, my oxtails down in there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to turn my crock pot to high. Put the lid on it. Now, this may take up to 8 hours to cook. I'm gonna go for 6 hours and come back and check on it, and I'll bring you back. All right, we're 6 hours in. We have taken a little off our crock pot and put over rice. Oh my goodness. This is good stuff. Look at this. Going in. Oh my goodness. This is so good. If you never done oxtail, you need to try it. Oh my goodness. put it in the crock pot. Hey, do it in the morning before you go to work. It's ready when you come back. Fix a pot of rice. Oh my goodness. You've got a supper. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If you haven't already, hit the circle on this side. I'll have another video for you right here just for you. Won't cost a dime. Until next time, hang tight.